the thing with Prime 4, like in itself, is it a bad game? Objectively speaking, it is. I'm not saying that it's like, you know, for everyone the same thing, but considering how normally Nintendo puts quality in their games, normally, that is, especially when it comes to the Metroid games, again, the latest installments being Prime Remastered and Dread, for example, right? They should be up there. It should be, they should know at this point what they're doing, and it clearly shows that they didn't, and that really sucks though. Again, like, at the beginning, like, and you can even watch the VOD of when I started Prime 4, it really felt like a Prime 4 game, and I didn't think that Miles was that bad, because I thought that he was only going to be there for the first part of the game, which is cool, right? And only for me to discover that he's there with you all, like, always along the way. Plus, there's a little video that I want to show you guys that also, like, made me think, like, hang on a second, I also experienced this. And so apparently, like, that moment, like yesterday, was it? Yeah, it was yesterday, where Miles says, hey, you can go anywhere you want, whatever key you want to go for, you can go for it. It's like, okay, cool, I'll just explore like any other Prime game, which was something that I was happy for. Like, again, like the whole desert area, like as shitty as it is, I was like, fine, I'll take it. You know, whatever I need to do to get to that point, that's fine. As long as I can get through the desert as fast as possible and get to my destination, fine, I'll take it. Only to arrive at a thing of my choosing, you know? For a thing of my choosing, like an area of my choosing, so I just took the closest thing to me, which was the ice biome thing. And we went there, again, it's in a VOD, you can watch it. We went there only to be obstructed by this ice wall that was blocking the door. And I was like, okay, cool, so I will most likely need some kind of a plasma beam-esque kind of thing. So some kind of a fire beam, whatever the hell it is here in Prime 4. And it's like, okay, shit, so I cannot go through. And I wandered around the ice area a little bit to see, like, is there no other way to go in? And there isn't. You have to go through that wall. So it's like, okay, so I'm literally stuck, so I cannot go wherever I want. So I go back through those loading screens with, like, the transporter lift thingy that goes horizontal, not vertical, whatever it is. The transport vehicle, you know, that cutscene, go back to the desert thing, drive around not knowing where I'm supposed to go. So I'm like, hang on a second. I'm opening the menu, like the map thing, and I see like a little button on the bottom left that allows me to communicate with Miles. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna see what this dude has to say. I press the damn thing, and Miles says, oh, have you tried going for the volcano area? It's like, dude, you literally told me not 5 minutes ago that I can go anywhere I want. Those are your words. You said that I could approach these other keys in any way that I want. You little shit, you told me that. That is what you said. That is what you told me. So no, you cannot go anywhere you want. So that was really off-putting. So then I go to the thing, to the fire area, to the volcano thing. I was like, okay, cool, a bridge thing. I go to over that bridge thing. Y'all saw the cutscene. Silex, most likely. The same with the bridge collapsed, you know, Samus drove away with the Akira slide and whatever. So it's like, okay, so I cannot enter the volcano area either. Okay, fine, I'll just explore that area a little bit, and that's basically where it ended. And then I did a little bit of research where it's like, okay, what is really going on? Because those are, like, all these things combined made me really, really weird. Like, the racing thing was really weird and off-putting, the upbeat music that fit absolutely nowhere in any of the Metroid games whatsoever. Also, hey, Lenta, what's up? And it just really sucked, though, to see, like, all these things combined is like, this is weird. Like, sure, if people enjoy that kind of game, that's fine, but that is usually not what Metroid games are like, and that is why it's not a good game, not a good Metroid game, let's put it like that. Like, isn't in its entirety a bad game? That could be seen for, like, different reasons, but is it objectively speaking a bad Metroid game for these points that I did make, for the criticisms that I do have for the game? Yes, it is. What doesn't do good, though, is Like the combat, for example, exactly like Prime. It's even better. Like you have free aim even with the Switch 1. I have it on the Switch 1. The free aim thing is really nice, like because beforehand with Prime 1 and Prime 2, you need to hold another button to look in every direction you want. And again, visually, it looks nice. Even on the Switch 1, it really looks nice. It performs really well. So it's really optimized. It's really good on that department. On a technical department, it is a really good game. But story-wise and direction-wise, it went absolutely nowhere. They clearly showed that they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. To the point that they even implemented things from a different franchise into Metroid that I'm thinking, this should not be necessary. Why are we influencing Breath of the Wild's elements into a Metroid game? Because Zelda games are, you know, whatever is happening in Zelda games, which, like, I haven't really played many of those, but whatever makes a Zelda game makes a good or bad Zelda game. Whatever, you know, I'm not gonna say or like speak my mind about Zelda games because I don't have enough knowledge on those games. But whatever made Zelda Zelda, keep it like that, because that's what the fans want. It should be equally the same for Metroid. Keep the Metroid things, or whatever made Metroid, Metroid, and keep that there. Don't influence like this open world thing that we've already seen a bajillion times in all the other Nintendo games that we've seen. Not only Nintendo, but other studios as well. And that just really sucks to see, like this giant open air where there's almost literally nothing to do except for farm crystals, which, by the way, you need to farm those crystals, otherwise you cannot you cannot progress through the game. And you need a lot of them. You need a shitload of those crystals in order to progress through the game, or to actually beat the game in its entirety. Like, it is not like some kind of a completionist thing, which would be fine. Like, if it was like for a 100% completionist thing where you had like the extra cutscene or whatever, if it was specifically for just that to reward the player for farming those things, that's fine. But if it's mandatory for you to beat the game, to farm all those bullshit crystals, that's where you lost me. And it's just sad though. It's just sad that they went with this approach. And I did spoil myself, because like I'm probably like a quarter of the game in. And I just did a little bit of research because I want to see what else is going on before I delve deeper into this game. And apparently, basically, the vast majority of the NPCs that we find are more or less equally as annoying as Miles. I mean, some characters are like more like generic and whatever, but essentially they serve the same purpose. They're basically there to help you, or basically you're helping them get out of whatever area they're in, and they always have some kind of an extraction thing that you need to do, that they need to survive. And it is, yeah, it is really weird. Like, I don't mind, like I've said it before, even before Prime 4 was released, like I'm happy that the Federation is involved, because whatever they did with Federation Force is absolutely stupid as hell. Like, that's what I keep thinking. Like, imagine Helldivers with with the Federation, like Metroid's Federation, like Helldivers, Metroid's Federation thingy, like crossover or something like that. That would be really cool if they did it right. And that's why other studios can do those Space Marine-esque like thing, not Space Marine as in the game title or EIP or the series, but more like you know, your space soldiers basically. Helldivers is a prime example, pun intended, of how you can approach that in a fun way, where it's both quirky, which is what they try to do here with Prime 4, but also badass at the same time. The very first time I saw the Federation actually kick ass and made me respect those guys a lot, though, is in Prime 2. Like in Prime 2, one of the earliest cutscenes that you see is the Federation lands on Aether, they're chasing down a pirate ship, and they're like, okay, let's go chase those guys down so that we're basically, you know, that those guys are eliminated. So they land down and their ship got damaged by the storm of Aether. So they land down and they explore, they go in different squads. They basically survey, like, do some surveillance of the area, and then there's an alarm that goes off, and then there's like a bajillion of dark splinters, which is what those things are called, all crawling down, and they're just really swarming. And I see like 5-6 dudes that were left there to defend on the ship. and they got swarmed like hell, but they put up a fight though. They put up a crazy fight, especially the last dude before he went down. That guy went absolutely nuts with his machine gun, and that was really cool. I was like, oh shit, these Federation dudes actually can kick ass. So ever since then, I was like, the Federation, we can all, these guys are absolutely awesome. They're kick ass. They're the most badass guys that you'll ever see. But no, they completely ruined that image for me too. Like, again, the Federation in itself, in my opinion, can still be a good thing, but they made it, the direction of it is absolutely not where it's supposed to be, because they're so, like, these quirky, super, I don't know, it's like this millennial-esque kind of thing. And I'm not saying that the millennial writing or something's good. It's just like this trend that keeps happening in games, that it's like, we don't always need those kind of characters. We can just have characters that feel real. Because those guys, for example, like in Prime 4, like the other dudes that you meet are just veterans of the Federation. They should know what they're doing. And there's like a couple, like 2 of them, that kind of know like what they're doing, but like the others, and well, the robo is just basically there as a tank and just kicks ass, whatever, without really saying that much. But yeah, it is really, it's really sad that, like, they could have done so much more. They could have done so much more. Like, I honestly don't blame the developers, I blame the direction. It's the same thing with Other M, and I know that I've said it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. In my opinion, if I would recommend a game between Prime 4 and Other M, I would honestly recommend Other M. As weird as it sounds, I know. But the reason why is because at least there, Samus actually does things, whereas Samus feels like a side character in her own game in Prime 4. And that's really weird, because everything is being told being told and paced by these Federation guys. Not by what Samus does, but everything is like, oh, Samus, do this. Samus, go this place. Samus, escort me there. Samus, do you get the keys? This and this and that. It's like, no, can I, And that is the thing that I really enjoyed about the other Metroid games, like Fusion and Prime 2, for example, and Prime 3 for that matter, 1 and, Dread, that it feels more like you yourself are there alongside with Samus, that you're thinking, how am I going to approach this? And then you figure it out for yourself. You figure it out for yourself, you're like, oh, so that's what I need to do. Or I could use this ability to go to that area. Okay, so I'm just gonna, you figure things out for yourself. Nothing is being handheld for you. Whereas here, everything is like in Prime 4, everything is being spoon-fed to you. Like, that is not what Metroid is all about. The thing with Metroid is all about just figuring things for yourself. You're basically just dropped onto a planet, and there you go, have fun, that's it. You figure things out for yourself. You discover the mysteries for yourself. You learn things by yourself, not by what anyone else is telling you. And that is really sad, though. That really sucks, though. And again, like the crystal farming that you have to do, the writing is just terrible. The dialogue is absolutely not necessary to go to that extent or to go into that direction of dialogue. It's just really sad. I had really high hopes for this. I had really, really high hopes for Prime 4, because we have been waiting, how long? Like, Prime 3 is from 2007 as far as I can remember, and it's 18 years? 18 years ever since we were waiting for the next installment for a decent Prime entry, not Federation Force, And so 18 years for this? You had this much time and this is the best that you could come up with? I don't know, that feels really, it's kind of a slap in the face at this point. I just want to be absolutely clear, there are still good things about Prime 4. I'm not saying it is, everything is bad. No, that would just be hating on the game. I'm constructively giving my criticism about why I think, me personally, as a diehard Metroid fan, is a bad Metroid game in itself. If it is not a Metroid game, sure, whatever, right? Do whatever you want. But Metroid is not known for this. Like, sure, you can add new things, you can add new elements, which is what they did throughout Prime 1, 2, and 3. They could have done just the same, but no, it's just the most generic Marvel-like movie-esque studio, like 343 Studio Halo 5 bullshit story that nobody cares about. And not to mention, the main quote-unquote antagonist, if you can't even call him that, Silex, is the biggest crybaby that I've ever seen. And I thought, you know, like, this is what I'm thinking. When Samus mentions the baby a million times in Other M, I think she's referencing Silex. Because this dude, though, the whole reason, like, Silex in Prime Hunters was seen as basically a rival, almost an equal to Samus, and he had a reason why he hated the Federation and Samus so much, right? And in Prime 4, he was mysterious. We didn't know much about the guy, so it was really cool to, like, see, like, oh shit, like, from Prime Hunters on the original DS, like, are we really, but we really brought someone back from that long ago, which was cool to see. That is cool. But the whole reasoning behind why he hates the Federation and why he hates Samus is so bullshit. Basically, let me tell you something. The reason why this guy hates Samus started from his own power-hungry thing. Like, he was, like, on this battlefield. It's a cutscene on Prime 4, by the way. I spoiled the fuck out of myself. So there's this battlefield that you see, like, this flashback of, like, Federation troopers, like, being at war, like, in a battle with the space pirates, and Silex was a former commander of the Galactic Federation. And he saw, like, that a certain weapon was being used by the space pirates, and he was like, I want that fucking weapon. I need that weapon. Give me that weapon. And then another commander is telling Silex, like, no. We dispatched Samus to take care of these things. It is too dangerous. We don't want anyone to die over this thing. Samus will handle this, and it'll be okay. And then Silex is like, no, I can be the hero too. Goes for it. And tries to go for it, then Samus is like just jumping in and just like kicking everyone's ass and destroying the weapon that Silex wants to have. Everything explodes, and you know, like, there are some people that died, and then Silex survived, and Samus is going to Silex, where he's like on his knees, he's like panting, he's like shaking a little bit, and Samus reaches out her hand to be, you know, to lift him up a little, you know, to get him back on his feet. And then what he does is the most anime edgelord, like, slap, like, against Samus's hand. That is like, no, I don't want your help. I am mad at you. Cry. That's basically it. That's it. That's the whole fucking reason. Are you shitting me, Nintendo? Are you shitting me? That's the reason why? Because Samus kicks more ass than Silex? Because he's like, oh, Samus is better than me. I'm gonna go kill everyone in the Federation and hunt Samus down. Like, seriously? At least with Dark Samus in her entirety was a literal, like, evil being in its entirety. It wanted to spread and corrupt everything with Phasa. It didn't give a fuck what it was doing. It was just evil because that is what, you know, the antagonist was supposed to be. You cannot call Silex the antagonist if that is the reasoning why. Dark Samus, originally the Metroid Prime, at the end of Prime 1, the Metroid Prime, or / Dark Samus in this case, is like, cool, you have a suit, that is mine now, yoink. Like, at the end of Prime 1, there's a cutscene where you see like an arm reaching out of Phasa, and then boom, Dark Samus was born. Then in Prime 2, you first encountered, like, Samus encounters Dark Samus face to face for the first time. It's like, oh shit, wait a minute. This one looks familiar. This is the Metroid Prime, as the title suggests, right? And you go back and forth and you encounter Dark Samus. We have played through Metroid Prime 3 on stream like a couple weeks ago. Like, I did it in one go even. And like, they're just back and forth going, you know, like, to really stop whatever Dark Samus is trying to do. And then Prime 3 is the conclusion to that, where Dark Samus is then completely defeated, no more Phazon, all the Phazon things are gone, right? But along the ride, Dark Samus was corrupting the very other bounty hunters, which are cool and don't even have a backstory, yet all those people like Gandrada, Rundas, and Gore, which are the 3 bounty hunters you see in Prime 3, even though there was almost nothing being told about them, as good as nothing being told about them, they still are way more interesting than whatever Silex is. Like, come on, we saw Rundas, our ice boy, like, he was kicking ass, and that is literal proof right there that there are other bounty hunters, which is what Silex tried to be, There are other bounty hunters that can kick ass, and therefore, do you see Samus? Do you see Samus throwing a tantrum because Rundas can fly, because Gore has this giant fucking mech that he can pilot, because Gandrada can transform into anything? Like, you don't see Samus throwing a fucking fit. Like, it's just so sad though how, at the final boss fight, he lets out this fucking edgelord crybaby scream that I'm thinking, this dude, you cannot be serious though. Hang on, I gotta show you guys this, hang on. Alright, cool. So if you don't want to be spoilered, I highly suggest to look away or to mute the stream or look at something else. I will type in a chat whenever it's ready to go, or pause the stream, for example, if you can. You should be able to, right? Can pause the stream? Can you pause stream on Twitch? Yeah, you can. So you can just pause the stream and I will just let it know, or just enter in chat whenever, if people don't want to be spoiled. But it is absolutely so stupid. But I mean, spoilers like the actual ending, okay? Like, the actual ending, I mean. People do want to play the game and whatever. Let's see here. If it wants to load. Okay, let's see. All right, cool. So basically, again, spoiler warning. This time, real spoiler warning. What happens at the end? So basically, all the Federation dudes, you collect them, kind of like Infinity Stones. They're all coming with you to go back through the teleporters to go back home. That's it, right? And at the end, there's a boss battle with Silex. There's like a battle you fight alongside the Federation trooper, which is cool. Okay, and then you have a little one-on-one versus with Silex, whatever. Okay, and then this happens.
We'll be right behind you. Maybe if I, oh. Oh, your crystal powers the teleporter. It only responds to you. Wait, is that Virus? Then that must be Tanamar. Home sweet home. And you are sure? Well, we're gonna find out. You did it.
We're really going home. Silence! But! Samus! No!
Protect the teleporter!
Samus! Are you alright?
I got you! Providing cover!
Teleporter's not gonna last long. You gotta make the jump while you still can. I'll do my best to stabilize the power.
Yes! 3
Restart the sequence. We'll buy you time while it charges.
What is that fucking edgelord scream though? That is like, are you shitting me? What was that? Like seriously, really? Fucking really?
Restart the sequence. We'll buy you time while it charges.
Again, keep in mind what I said beforehand of why he hates Samus so much. It's literally because it's like, you took away my power thing. I wanted that space pirate weapon. And that's it. Like, what is that? Like, what is this direction that they went with this guy? Exactly, it sounds like a very possessive, like toxic, like my ex-boyfriend that really tries to get back with, you know, with his girlfriend and the girlfriend is like, no, like we're over and done. And then this guy just keeps fucking going for them, thinking, oh my God. Like, you cannot be serious though. That pose too, like this fucking guy, you cannot be serious that this is supposed to be the big bad of Prime 4? Really? Oh, right, yeah, maybe I should show what happens after that. I can get this fucking pose though, this fucking guy. Like, he finally has, like, what he wanted in the Federation. He can kick ass, but what does he do? Nope, fuck your Samus. You stole away my fame and glory this one time, and therefore, fuck all you Federation guys and fuck Samus.
Samus! Go! Hey, Samus. Solon be with you.
Like, I'm unhappy with how cool Samus looks, so this suit is really cool, okay? Thumb up for that, though. Thumbs up for that. Really looks nice. And that's it. That's it. That's the ending. That's it. The only difference that you do get when you do 100% is that basically you see Samus's face instead of like the full suit. The helmet gets removed, but the cutscene is exactly the same. That's it. That's it. That's literally it. That's the ending. Nothing else, nothing more. No post-credits kind of thing. Like, I mean, that was a post-credits thing, but something extra, some kind of a teaser, something new maybe. No, that's it. That's the ending. That is the fucking ending. In Prime 3, you at least had 3 different... No, wait, hang on. 1, 2, wait. So you have, in 3, the endings. Okay, let me test my Metroid knowledge here. So it either just ends, and then, like with a, you know, Samus flying by, thumbs up, mission complete to the Admiral guy. Then, I think it's the 75% thing, I think. Where, Samus goes to Skytown / Elysia, where she remembers the fallen bounty hunters that you had to take down, Sarundas, Gore, and Gandreda in that order. And then she looks up to the sky, and then the camera pans out. And then the 100% is where it picks up from that, where Samus goes back to, like, she first stands up and then goes back to her ship, Zero Suit reveal, and then she looks at you, and then you see the ship flying off, and then does like this warp thing into space, and then you see Sykes' ship chasing her down. That's the 100% ending as far as I know. As far as I know. I'm 100% sure about that. And at least there you had more stuff to work with. There were more things that you were being rewarded as the player. And at least the ending was so much better. You guys saw me play it through Prime 3. Like the ending, the final battle, like even though I completely shat on Dark Samus because I've already done that boss battle a million times by now. That at least there's like this very big, like, climax basically at the end of the Prime trilogy. And in Prime 4, it's like, okay, so like I said, when people say like, yeah, the story is about these Lamorn axolotl space guys, you know, like, is it really? Is it really? You saw the ending. Like, it's all about those Federation guys and just how you're trying to get them home. But it's all about just them being like, oh, Samus, I love you so much. Can I get an autograph? Which is, by the way, legit a thing. That the lady, like Armstrong, what's her name? That Armstrong, whatever. See, I didn't even remember the names, they're that forgettable. Where she literally, like, the first time she sees Samus, she's like, oh my god, Samus, is that really you? Is that a new suit? Oh my god, it looks so good. And then, you know, it's like this quirky interaction, like Marvel bullshit movie thing. It's literally the same thing when Peter Parker was first discovered by that one friend dude that was like, oh my god, you're Spider-Man? Oh my god, how does this work? How does that work? It's literally the same thing. Yeah, it's just so, I don't know where they went with this. Why did they do this to themselves? I really don't understand. And again, like the points that I've made, with, again, the writing is just terrible. Like it went nowhere. The characters are forgettable. The soundtrack, like again, in like when I started the game, like when I first entered Fury Green, it was really nice. Like it really felt like a Prime game. I was like, oh my god, like we're finally here. I'm finally playing Metroid Prime 4. I was so happy. And then everything went crashing down the moment I saw that bike sequence. Like with like even the first time that I encountered Miles, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the guy that people have been talking about and been warning about, like, oh, watch out for this guy, you know, because he's annoying, this and that. And it's like, okay, like, it was okay. Like, it didn't bother me that much. See, I wasn't really seeing, like, oh, it's this guy, he's gonna yap constantly, this and that. It was actually not that bad, like, the first time that I encountered the guy. And then until that point where he was, like, at this base camp thing. And then when we were exploring in that lightning area thing to get Viola, then just him explaining, even when I was there, he was like, yeah, I need to go to this generator and that generator because otherwise you cannot go this way. So you have to go do this thing first and then do that thing in that order. And you have to do this and then you can get through. It's like, no, I want to figure this out for myself. And I know that in the other Prime games, the game automatically tells you where you need to go. But that only happens when you are lost. That is something that automatically happens by itself when you're wandering around too much without really progressing through the game. The game automatically then put a waypoint where you are supposed to go. But that is only like when you're like 15 minutes or 20 minutes just doing nothing but just walking around. Like nothing but walking around and really not progressing in the game. That's when the game will kind of like nudge you in the right direction. That's it. They're not even telling you what you're supposed to do there. They just tell you you're supposed to go there, but how is entirely up to you. That is the difference. Whereas in Prime 4, you're being spoon-fed every little thing that you're supposed to do. Say, no, I want to figure this out for myself. It's just so sad though. And again, the bike sequence, like when the Viola thing, like the racetrack trial thing, it was already bad enough that there were 3 of them, let alone 1. And like at the end, every time that you completed a trial, it has this ending sequence that every racing game has. Where it's like, you know, like the camera focuses on Samus just driving around, you know, and then like mission complete. It's literally the same screen that you would see in any racing game where it says like, congratulations, you made first place. You know, it's literally that. It's literally a screen like that. It's like so out of place for a Metroid game. And again, the music was so weird. Like it's I don't know what was with that upbeat kind of, you know, very edgelord. Like, and also the guitars though. What is this, like the spammage of like electric guitars in every soundtrack? Like not in every soundtrack, but in the vast majority of when action is happening, there always has to be like electric guitars just shredding, like a distorted shredding electric guitars that I'm thinking, like, is this game really trying that hard to sound cool? It sounds annoying, and that's not what Prime is about. Like the boss battle music in all of the Prime games, they're very atmospheric, they're very intense, they're very menacing, but they didn't need like a spammage of electric guitar. You would sporadically hear that in Dark Samus's theme, or when you fight Rundus, for example, in Prime 3. That's about it. In all the other things, the soundtracks sound like a boss battle game without trying to sound like some kind of an edgelord boss that you need to fight. Every time that you see Silex, there's always this spammage of electric guitar just being like, oh, look at how cool Silex is. Electric guitar shreds. Look, I'm cool. I play the electric guitar. No, you're fucking up Roxas at this point. Stop it. Get some help. And it's just so stupid. Like again, the other soundtrack, when you again, Fury Green, when I entered that area, it was absolutely beautiful. It was stunning. I was like, it sounds really like Prime music. I love that. I love that about the Prime series, just how like the choirs and then like the whole atmosphere and the ambience and the thing alongside it. It's really nice. It's really cool. And then that whistle thing that is, you know, known throughout the Prime series. That was very happy with it. I said that too when I was playing the game. But then again, it all started crashing now when we had to do those bike trials with Viola. Not to mention, yeah, like Ninja said, so there is a free way, I know free, there is a free way for you to unlock music in a desert area. And that is when you have 100%. So basically, when you have already beaten the game, like at that point, you've basically already beaten the game, except for the final boss fight. At that point, only then will you have music. So are they really expecting us to replay the game? Just to have, like, are they really having us, like, go for the 100% thing? Just to have music in the attempt of getting us to replay the game with music in the desert area? Is that the reason? Or if you don't want to do 100%, and if you do want to have something basic like music in, you know, video games, you have to pay an additional 30 euros or dollars for the amiibo, which looks cool. I will admit that it looks cool. But that should not be like a basic element of a video game is music, especially in a Metroid game. That should not be behind a paywall. And again, in that desert area, there is so much that you need to farm. You need to farm, like, you need to grind those crystals. It's not like, oh, you know, just passing back and forth, like, through the areas will automatically, you will sporadically, like, along the way, you will find those crystals, and then you just go like that. No. Even when you do that, you still need to go back and actively farm those crystals, because otherwise you cannot beat the game. Not necessarily 100%, but just to beat the game, you need all those fucking crystals. It's so crazy just how Nintendo is like, oh, people like Breath of the Wild, right? Let's make everything Breath of the Wild. And it really shows this open world bullshit that everyone is absolutely tired of. And not to mention, as like Metroid being open world, I would be completely behind that. But only when it makes sense. In a sense that this whole giant desert area, I feel like it shouldn't be that big. It shouldn't be this giant open world with many dungeons in it, which are a copy-paste of Breath of the Wild dungeons, which is something that I've looked up, and they look exactly the same. It's basically you go through these areas, and then you go to the giant area, and there's like these mini shrines that you can go to and complete whatever puzzle thing that you need to do, and there you go. It is exactly the same here. You cannot tell me, you cannot convince me that Breath of the Wilds is heavily implemented into this here Metroid game, which is not what you're supposed to do with franchises. You're not supposed to mix things from other... Like, you're not supposed to mix elements from what made a game good into another game that had different reasons to be good. Again, what made Zelda, keep it that way. What made Metroid, also keep it that way. Is the very reason why we like Zelda. It is the very reason why we like Mario or whatever. It is the very reason why we like Donkey Kong and whatever. It is also the same with Metroid. There's a very particular reason why we like Metroid games. But having that in Metroid Prime 4, this open world thing, I was skeptical about it. I was like, okay, it's not gonna be that bad until I did the research. And I was like, oh my god, you cannot be serious. And again, the points where, again, when the game, or Miles in this case, tells you, hey, you already have 2 keys, whatever all the keys, you know, there's still a couple that you need to go. You can choose, Samus Aran, legendary bounty hunter that kicks ass a million times, you know, beforehand, before the Prime 4 entry. You can decide what you want to do. You can tackle any of these keys in any order and any way that you want. It's like, okay, cool, I'll go explore them. Only to then realize the moment that I did try playing the damn video game that I cannot play the video game because the game is telling me that I'm supposed to go somewhere else first, even though prior, this little shit Miles told me to go somewhere, like, you told me that I could go anywhere. Only to then realize, oh, I cannot go anywhere because this fuckface is then telling me, oh yeah, maybe you should go to that, you know, to that volcano area. It is so terrible, though. It is so terrible. And then that alongside this Marvel movie writing bullshit that is absolutely not needed. Like, again, you can make the Federation look badass. Other games have made space soldiers look cool. Why couldn't you, Nintendo? Like, one of the biggest studios out there, like, you have something great. You already have a good franchise of this game. This like Metroid in its entirety is cool. I am trying to get people into this series, but seeing this here game, Metroid Prime 4, I will not recommend it to people because this is not what Metroid is supposed to be. If you really want to have a Metroid experience, like the most open worldy, like non-linear Metroid game that you could play, go for Super Metroid. If you want to play something more like that is easier accessible or is easier to digest, basically, you can play Metroid Fusion. If you want to have like a very immersive environment, play Prime 1. If you want to have like this very dark atmosphere with giant bosses and with again, atmosphere that is absolutely amazing, play Prime 2. There are all these different things that made those games individually so cool, but what they all have in common is this atmosphere. The soundtrack that is cool, the bosses that are cool, the upgrades that are cool. everything is just like everything has something so unique to them. But no, whatever they did with this here is none of that. And that really sucks though. It really sucks though. Okay, maybe I should correct myself. Like, none of that, maybe very roughly said though. Again, like I said, would I enter Fury Green for the first time in Prime 4? Absolutely amazing. I was like, oh my god, like if the rest of the game is going to be like this impression, I'll play it. I'll play it through the entire thing. But then, like, the bad basically outweighs the good that Metroid Prime 4 does. It just outweighs so very much though. And that is the sad part about it. And I feel like somewhere along the lines, like when they had to redo the entire process of Prime 4, because initially it was going to be developed by, I think, Bandai Namco, and they had to cancel it for whatever reason, because Nintendo apparently said like, hey, whatever you guys are making with Prime 4, we don't like it. It isn't really up to our standards, and yeah, we're gonna cancel working with you guys, and we're gonna go back with Retro Studios. Which is like, okay, cool. Well, Bandai Namco, they could have done something great. I'm sure that they could have, definitely. But I feel like Bandai Namco did a better job at making a cool Metroid game, where Nintendo was basically at that time like, oh, wait a minute, Breath of the Wild is doing good, and people like these kind of characters, right? How about we just do that with Metroid Prime 4 instead? And I think that might have been the reason why they cancelled it. I think that's the reason why they cancelled, like, working together with Bandai Namco, because Bandai Namco most likely tried to make Samus look as bad as possible. And then it's like, just gone down the drain though. It just went down the drain, and that is the sad part. And again, I'm a diehard Metroid fan. I played Metroid Fusion, like Metroid Fusion was the first game that I've ever played, the first Metroid game that I've ever played. Then after that I played Prime 2. I know, it's really fucking with the timeline. And Metroid Fusion was so eerily spooky as a child though. I was scared shitless just playing this game, but it was fun. And at the time, I didn't think that Samus was a woman. I was like, okay, cool, like a robo guy with an armcannon, I could just blast things. It's kind of like Doom guy, because before I played Metroid, I was a very big fan of Doom. I still am a very big fan of Doom, the original Doom, that is. So I'm like, oh, it's basically, you know, kind of like Doom, so I'll just play this thing. And yeah, that's how I picked up on Metroid, and my dad bought that for me then. And yeah, everything else, like, the moment that I discovered that Samus was a woman, I was like, oh my god, like, I was playing as a woman this entire time? What the shit? I need to know more. And I was just so inspired though. It's like, okay, this is so cool, I want to play more, I want to discover more. Who is this Samus person? And again, there's a lot of inspirations to, like, how I am as a person, what kind of music that I like, the influences and, you know, everything, like, around me, basically, are very heavily inspired by Samus, basically. And it just sucks though that with everything going on now with Prime 4, that this could be the final game that Nintendo is going to make around Metroid, because this could, like, it's not really being perceived well. It's not being perceived well because of the same points that I've made. And I will show you guys a little video after that, and you guys will also probably get even more frustrated on why Prime 4 is such a shit show, and kind of understand also my point. But it's just so sad though. It's just so sad to see, like, my all-time favorite hero that inspired me to be the person that I am today, with all the memories attached over all those years. Again, given that I started with Metroid when I was 8 years old, I'm almost 32 now, that all of that history just gets wiped off the board just like that because of this game. And again, I feel like this could be the last Metroid game ever, like, or Prime game for that matter, because I feel like the other studio that made Dread still has a chance to redeem Metroid, right? Like, I forgot the name of the studio that made Metroid Dread. They also worked on the remake of Metroid 2, Return of Samus. At least that studio still has a chance to redeem Metroid. We're gonna have to, like, put our faiths in those guys, and hopefully they can do something, you know, with Metroid from that. But I've lost all faith for anything Prime related. Because, again, if this is going to bomb, then what is there to stop Nintendo to be like, oh, people didn't like what we do with Metroid, so therefore people just don't like Metroid, so we're not gonna make any more Metroid games. That's what I'm worried about right now, because they did the same thing with F-Zero. They did the same thing with F-Zero. F-Zero was good. F-Zero is a good game. F-Zero GX is a wonderful game. F-Zero GP Legend was such a cool game. It's basically a video game adaptation of the anime. But F-Zero GX is so memorable. It's so cool. It still holds up really well with today's standards. It is such a good game. But they shit-canned F-Zero completely. And I'm worried that they're gonna do this with Metroid as well. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I'm so sad that Prime 4 is not good. And it just sucks though to see this beloved franchise over the entire world just be put in this bad spotlight now because of this game. And it's really sad. And I just hope that hopefully they can make a different Metroid game that is at least up the standards and basically that they listen to the fans. But I feel Nintendo's too far gone to be like, oh, people like slop, we're just gonna make more slop. Again, point proven with fucking Pokemon. That's what they do. That's what they do. People buy it anyway. People buy it anyway, even if it's slop. And that should not be a thing for the Nintendo to get away with making lazy games to then be like, oh yeah, we're gonna put as little effort as possible to make the maximum amount of profit, like, out of it, like the least amount of effort for the maximum profit. That's basically what they're doing right now, and it really shows. It really shows. But they cannot do that with Metroid, though. Do that with Pokemon all you want. Like, I don't really, whatever Pokemon does, whatever, right? I stopped playing Pokemon after I played Emerald and Gale of Darkness, which are the two last games that I actually played. Like, I didn't play any other gen than that. Because again, it was already getting a little bit stale and a bit samey, and then especially with like the Switch games, like all being open worldy, copy paste, bland texture bullshit. I didn't want to play that. And that's what they keep doing though. They keep doing it over and over again. It really shows that Nintendo doesn't give a fuck anymore. They just want to make money, and it sucks though. It sucks. It really sucks though. And again, Metroid is one of those franchises that you don't want to fuck up in terms of what it brings to people, the environment, the atmosphere. And they knew that. Like when Prime 1 was first released, that Prime 1 was as far as I can tell, the number one game on the GameCube for people to enjoy Metroid because it was so revolutionary. It looks so good for its time. There's a reason why Prime 1 got remastered. Sadly enough, Prime 2 and 3 are not remastered, even though I would very much like them to be remastered as well. But there's a very big reason why Prime 1 was so loved. There's also a very big reason why Super Metroid was so loved. And Nintendo knows that. But they've lost the passion for the games, and it really shows. And that's why I feel a little bit hurt though. Like, I'm not taking this like too hard to be like, oh, my life is over, we don't have any more Metroid games. Oh no, like I'm not gonna be woe is me or whatever. It just sucks though to see throughout all these years to be, to have this basically as the hyped game, the hyped up Nintendo game for over 18 years. I mean, at least since the Metroid Prime 3 installment. That we had to wait this long for this result? For this game? And again, Nintendo once knew what they wanted, they knew what made Metroid good. They knew what made it good. They did so with Prime 2 and 3. They did so with Fusion as well, even though Fusion is way more linear than what Super Metroid was, but Fusion is still a good Metroid game. And I'll even say it here, with Other M, again, the story made absolutely no sense. The characters also very forgettable. Only two characters really stand out in, three in this case. Three characters stand out in Other M. That is Samus, primarily, Anthony, and Adam. Those three. Those are the only three memorable guys. The other Federation guys, forgettable. But at least, Anthony was, a very chill dude. He was a very chill dude, and he wasn't yapping constantly. He was as level-headed as Samus. He was a bit quirky. He was trying to be the optimistic guy, but he was still focused, and he really, again, I'm gonna play through Prime 4, not Prime 4, wow, though, not Prime 4, other M, there we go. We're gonna play through Prime 4, and, not Prime 4, damn it. Not Prime 4. Prime 4, bad. Sit down. Bad. Other M, there we go. We're gonna play through Other M, and you see, like, Anthony in itself is a chill dude. He's like a bro. He's like a big bro, basically, right? That's the vibe that he gives off. Even though he doesn't say that much, though, he's still like a big brother kind of figure, literally almost even too. Adam is just like, I don't know what they did with him. He's like he actually secretly does really care about Samus very much, but he's like a little bit of a tsundere, you know? But, yeah. And again, like the story about, or the story of Other M absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. The direction of the story and the direction of the voice acting is absolutely terrible. It is shit, and rightfully so that people shit on that, right? But what it did good, though, is the combat. And to show how really agile and strong Samus is. The things that you can do with Samus in Other M are unseen in any other Metroid game, let alone in the Smash games. And also, there's a very big reason why the Other M model of Samus is in the Smash games, in Smash 4 and Ultimate. There's a reason why, because in Other M, like, not only because it's simpler to create, but also in Other M, it was the first time that you saw Samus actually kicking ass and not only just going pew-pew, which is what everyone was already used to by then, just to see Samus shoot things and that's it. Like, Samus could shoot things, shoot missiles, and turn into a ball and do flips and shit, and that's it, right? Whereas in Other M, she actually does melee things. She actually, like, holds people, like, in a wrestling hold kind of thing, in a choke hold, and literally blasts them with it in their face like that, and then, you know, shoving an armcannon in someone's mouth, and then, you know, kicking people or kicking creatures, throwing creatures, ripping the wings off of creatures. Like, it's all these very cool things to see Samus do way more, and it makes sense because Samus has been trained by the Chozo from you know, since he was a child. She is infused with Chozo DNA. She's super agile, though. She is super agile, and she's super strong and so nimble and so athletic. And it really shows, and that's what they did good with Other M. That's the good thing about Other M. Everything else, again, makes absolutely no sense. But at least that, you cannot deny that, though. Like, the cutscenes, they do look gorgeous, though. For the time, for a Wii game, the cutscenes and the way that Samus looks, like, again, hands down, the best way that Samus has ever looked. The most gorgeous way that Samus has ever looked. The most gorgeous rendition of Samus ever is in Other M. You cannot deny that. And then, like, the combat too, like, those were the good things. Then everything else was shit, sadly enough. But that's purely because of the direction that made no sense. And again, you can tell that is because of the direction that the game flopped, both voice acting wise and story wise, is because both the Japanese and the English dub of Other M are equally as boring and equally as, you know, as monotone as ever. And that's when you can tell it's not the voice actor's fault, it's not the dev's fault, it's the direction. So again, like, that's why Other M, like, does it deserve its shit that it has been getting? Absolutely. But at least you can still appreciate Other M for that, and that's why I will play through it. I will play through it. As for Metroid Dread, and I know that people on Twitter are like, oh my god, you hate Metroid Dread? I don't. I haven't said that. That's what people are, like, taking completely out of context. I don't hate Metroid Dread. The thing that I like about Metroid Dread, let's start with that. What do I like about Metroid Dread? It shows how calm and collected Samus is, how experienced she is, how kick-ass she is, how badass she is, how athletic she is. She does, like, flips and shit, and, you know, like, in cutscenes as well. And she's really cool. She's really badass, and they really pull that off. Like, that is, like, okay, good job. Like, whatever team that is, I forgot the name of that team, of that studio. Absolutely stellar job, amazing job, perfect. Keep it that way. And also when Samus is talking, you know, and things like that, like, she has a very, like, deep, sultry voice, I don't know if it's sultry, is that the word? But a very soothing, deep voice, though. It's really nice. And, like, it's really cool, though. I really like how they portrayed Samus as calm and collected, still gives a shit, is very caring, is a sweet person, but also kicks ass when need be, right? But what I didn't like about Dread is the environments, the soundtrack. I don't know, like for me personally, the soundtrack, the bosses, the areas were all very forgettable. The only boss battles that I remember very vividly is the final one with Ravenbeak and Kraid. That's it. Those are the only two that I can remember. And the other ones are very forgettable. The Emmys there as well, those are basically like there's 5 of them or something like that. Like robots that basically tried to siphon DNA from Samus. Spoiler, I know. And they basically tried to recreate what Metroid Fusion was doing with the SAX when the SAX is chasing you down to hunt you down or whatever. That's kind of what they tried to replicate. But after a while, it gets so stale and samey. It's like more annoying than it is, scary or anything or thrilling or, That's what I also didn't like. And again, the soundtrack, I don't remember a single song except for when Quiet Rogue talks, which is another Chozo dude that we encounter there, chill dude. But when he talks, it's a rendition of, goddamn, what's the song called again? I forgot the title. I know what the song is, but basically when Quiet Rogue talks, it's a very chill thing. It's a nice rendition of that song. Very atmospheric. And again, that's what I remember. Any other song in the game, I just don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember. I cannot relate any song of that game to whatever boss or whatever area because everything looks the damn same. And that's why I didn't like Dread. And also the ending. The ending, as cool as the ending was, right before you actually get the final power up in the thing. That was cool. That was really cool to see Samus go really nuts in this case. And we're gonna play that through, or we're gonna play through Dread as well. But after that, there's an escape sequence. Then you go to the ship, and you basically get rid of the final power up that you get. Not gonna spoil too much about it. And then you just leave and just see the Samus. You just see the ship flying off and the planet explodes. Boom. That's it. The end. That's it. There was such a abrupt ending, or just out of nowhere. That is that quickly paced. That's okay. You're in the ship now. You fly off. Planet explodes. That's the end. That's it. Then roll credits. That's it. That was literally it. There's no other cutscene or something that comes after that. There's no little cutscene of reminiscing of what happened on that game. There's no message, no story being told, no those exposition of some kind. It just abruptly ends just like that. And that's what I didn't like about that too. There's no reveal or anything. Not even a Zero Suit reveal. There's nothing like that. So again, it just felt really rushed. And that's why I didn't like Dread. Again, the controls in Dread, very snappy, very responsive. And they should make all 2D Metro games like that. That's what I really like about Dread. The controls are very snappy, very responsive, very fluid. Absolutely love that. But for the points that I made prior of why I didn't like it, that's why I didn't like it. I don't hate the game. I just don't like it as much as I enjoy, for example, Super Metroid Fusion or Prime 2. So yeah, does that make a little bit more sense about my Metroid rant?